to the stage. I'm just queuing up a live stream as well. I figured we did a nice bit of onboarding a couple of weeks ago where I ran a live stream alongside the space, so people can literally go over to the platform and check it out. But yeah, episode 21 is here. We've got Danny. Danny is our Uni-Fy community manager, general assassin in Web3, absolute legend, destroyer of tasks, completer of missions, above and beyond. So yeah, absolute legend in the space, man. How are you getting on? I know sometimes you have mic issues. Oh yeah, you in? Bless, brother. Bless, bless, bless. Good to hear from you, man.
Good. So sorry, I have terrible sore throat due to bad weather and stuff. So my
Bless you,
voice
man.
is kind of it's not very good tonight. But I hope everyone is doing great and welcome to the show. I hope you're all doing great. It's been an amazing week in the Unify ecosystem, and I'm just excited to keep this space going. So
Yeah, yeah, man. I feel you. I'm sorry that you are unwell, man, and I hope that you get very well very soon. Um, yeah, it's the weather's pretty insane out there, to be honest. I'm just trying to pull up the live stream and pin it. Can you do that for me, Danny? Can you find the live stream? It's not appearing on my mobile. And just pin that up in the jumbotron. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I needed to refresh. So that is there. So you guys can see now the live home screen. But yeah, let's get into it. Mr. Boycell, man, first time in the space. Absolute pleasure. I think we crossed paths earlier today. How you getting on, man?
yeah, that was yesterday. I'm fantastic, man. I just wrapped up a 12-week certification program that I ran for 10 people, and it was like climbing up Mount Everest. I've never done anything at that level before, and I'm feeling super juiced, super jacked. It just ended like 39 minutes ago, so I'm in a great mood. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing really well. It's been one of those weeks so far where you can taste the momentum in the air, and yeah, so much going on. Really enjoying it. Lots of networking, meeting new people. Absolute pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Boyso. And please, you do have to expand slightly on this certification that you've just run. Please tell us more.
Of course, I'll make it quick. So, 10 years ago, I started as a self-taught graphic designer. I opened up my own little print shop design studio, and I was designing in front of people as they sat there and watched, getting to know them, building relationships, and created a really unique experience from that. I learned how to do SEO, web design. Then I learned how to do paid ads, and I just kept stacking skills for years. And then I sold that company in 2011 and started as a freelance marketing consultant. 2015, I opened up a brick and mortar agency, and I started learning how to package, sell, productize offers, and basically TikTok, all that stuff. So we're building all these agents now that will run all these parts of the business for you.
Wow. So just for people on the live stream, like you can probably hear half a conversation. We are in a live spaces now as well on Twitter. So head over there, Unify underscore IO. Head over there, jump into this conversation because it's really really exciting. I don't want you guys to hear half of the conversation, from the live stream. So do hop in to the spaces and then just mute the live stream, and then that way you will be able to really get a grasp on what's going on. But Mr. Boyce, what's hilarious is like I'm going to show you this stuff. So the points you've just made, the AI agents that you were diving into, I literally have a blueprint for them. I've even built some of the automations in Make. I have like half done versions of a lot of them. And it even goes deeper, which I'll bring on to. In fact, we'll probably have to discuss on the back end because I can't reveal that much alpha. But I think, yeah, there is huge synergies, man. Extremely exciting. Like I always say, you meet people and things happen at the right time. And clearly we're crossing paths based on that in my mind.
That's right. Your giraffe room, your vibe attracts your tribe. That's just how it goes down, man. That's so great. I love your brand. I love what you've done. That's why I engaged with you the way that I did. I think you've done a really good job on your branding, and that's where most people suck. They don't have any clue what their brand archetype is. Are they a hero? Are they a rebel? Are they a joker? Are they a caregiver? Like they're completely clueless with that stuff, and I think you've done a phenomenal job. So keep up that amazing work, dude.
Wow, man. Honestly, I'm gonna start crying in a minute, man. No, I really appreciate the feedback, brother. It means a lot. And look, Penmob is on the stage. Penmob Creative, I've got your brand page up live on the live stream as well. So go, guys, go check that out. Penmob Creative are one of our newest brand partners. These guys I met through the Uni-Fy ecosystem, because at Uni-Fy we don't just provide tools and solutions. All right, it's not just gamified affiliate marketing, it's not just real-time analytics dashboards, it's lead generation. And it's not lead generation just from consumers and individuals, it's lead generation from brand partners, because I believe in Web3 that often the utility you're looking for, the knowledge you need, the information that you want is usually in the server right next to you in a line of discords, but you haven't got time to trawl through it. The layers and layers of crypto Twitter you have to get through to find these incredible builders. That's why Twitter spaces are so powerful, but at the same time, if you don't get on stage, they're not so much for networking as they are more for doing your own research. And so what Unify does is we aggregate products and service providers into one easy to use platform where these guys are verified. I've just realized my screen is all flat. That's why it looks weird. Um, and so these verified service providers have all been on a one-on-one call with me. They've doxed to me. They filled out information. I have a lot of their information. So these guys are as verified as we can say verified is in Web3 or in any business, really, all things considered. But the point being is, before now, right? If someone said to you, "Oh, I'm coming into Web3 and I want to buy an NFT, where do I go?" You say Magic Eden, you say Tensor, you say OpenSea, right? But when someone says, "Oh, I'm doing an NFT project, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I have 100,000 engaged followers as an influencer in Web2, what do I do?" Where do you send those people? How do you put that together for them? There's nowhere until Unify. So now we have a platform where those influencers can come and find a brand like Penmob Creatives. So these guys provide animation services, among many others, script writing, music definition, and they're going to tell you a lot more about it in detail. But the point I'm getting at now is this is a place where you can safely point non-natives to discover Web3 brands in a safe and aggregated platform. And I can tell you that we have locked in a partnership that gives us complete Web2 payment solutions. That means that you can log in with Gmail, with wallets as a service or obscuration of Web3 interaction, and then you can check out with Visa, PayPal, Zelle. All right. Now this is it's the partnership is locked in. We're just doing the dev work. We've got our API keys, everything. This is all in place. Um, and so now you can imagine that for PenMob creatives who have initially been born into a Web3 ecosystem are now able to expand that audience and now onboard brands and run ads and get clients from a Web 2, Web 2.5 basis, and then further initiate them and I guess bring them into their brand via our links out. So you can see they have a link to their website. Currently their Twitter, they're just undergoing renovations on their website, but you have all of your links out here that then pull people in who've chosen, they already understand your brand a little bit, and now they've chosen to enter. So great way to diversify revenue, engage your community. We're going to dive into more of the features very shortly, but PenMob, that was the longest introduction I could have ever given you. I believe it's Manny behind the account, man, but the mic is yours, brother. How are you doing?
Yo, what's good from this? Yeah, that's Uni-Fy. Man, you just you just went into it. Yeah, for real. Shout out to everyone here. Shout out to everyone here. I mean, Thomas has already like dived deeply into what we do at Penmod, so I don't even know how I'm gonna like follow up that because he did an amazing job. But yeah, like you said, I'm Manny, co-founder at Demo Creative Studios. We are an animation studio for the Web3 base. So basically, we create like animations for Web3 projects. And right now, to Unify, we're really excited to create the same service for people also in the Web 2 and Web 2.5 space. But yeah, one thing we actually try as much as possible to do at Penmod is we love the idea of simplicity. Yeah, and a lot of projects in the Web3 space. I mean, a lot of you would agree with me that Web3. I mean, it's sometimes it gets a bit complicated. Like a lot of people out here trying to push their products, and most of them, though we have founders and developers do tend to like speak to the audience using developer terms. They're out here using abbreviations or words, basically talking ones and zeros to an audience. Now imagine the news in the space or people who do not actually get these terms trying to get the product that the developer is trying to sell, and they don't even understand what they're about to buy. They're out there just speaking, hearing ones and zeros, hearing abbreviations, hearing big words. That's where Penmop comes in. We're like a team of creatives, and yeah, like Unify said, we we cover up scripting, animation. We basically like take those complex things that these projects have and break it down into like the simplest type of stuff you could ever see, like down and make it fun too. And we've been doing this for different projects, yeah. And yeah, I think we recently did one for a project that's also associated with Unify. I think UIO, yeah, and we've been working with them on the back end since. And yeah, enjoying ourselves, honestly. We love the process and we love making things come to life in general. And yeah, excited to do more amazing things on Unify and excited for the opportunity. And yeah, I feel that's all I could add because Thomas really went into it and like broke most of it down. So I don't know, Thomas, is there any other quick details
Nah,
you want
man,
to?
you did amazing. I've just pinned up the top on the jumbotron the work that PenMob Studios done for us, and so you'll be able to see that they took our icon, our static hero icon. And they animated that for us. Now they were able to turn that around in just 24 hours. And again, this goes back to I think. Sorry, I got my preview within 24 hours, and then yeah, it was like 48 hours to completion for that. So super high quality and incredible output of work. And really, my point here is that, Unify, we're not just here to showcase the brands and drive leads, but we'll utilize the product and service providers, right? Like, we want to use you guys. We want to prove and give you proof of work among our audience, and help drive traffic to you. And so, with a lot of our brand partners, we take advantage of the services they provide. Hacken, for instance, is one of the top rated Web3 security providers. They've audited a lot of the names that you're familiar with. Um, and these guys have come, they gain exposure, they unlock the affiliate marketing aspect, and of course, they're able then to gain exposure among other projects. So if you're a project that has smart contracts you're about to launch and you need an audit, then you can find that on Uni-Fy without having to go and ask around, and potentially get misled. And I think, overall, that aggregation of service providers means that once a brand is now, rather than just looking through NFT collections, they're looking through what they know may have an NFT, but they're looking through the utility behind that NFT, which I think is extremely important, because I think it gets too overlooked. Like, remember, like, all or 90% of founders in Web3 are building NFT projects, not as a project, as a business. They have a vision, they have like some heartfelt sense of responsibility to actually better the ecosystem in some form or another. But guys, if you're enjoying the conversation, if you're liking the live stream, please retweet the room, tag your friends, tell people to join us. It's an absolute pleasure to see some new faces in here. Also, some old ones, some OGs. We've got Demon Dan in the gaff. I've just sent you an invite to speak. Procan, an OG in our space, one of our ambassadors. Alex P, new to the Uni-Fy community. Bearded Manny hates Russ, and I'm not going to butcher your name, brother, but I'm glad that you're with us. But Mr. Boyce, I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on kind of PenMob Studios and what they've shared with you there, if you're up for that.
Yeah, I think the creative agency side of the space is a really neat one. That I've been doing that for my whole career, creating videos and animations and Adobe Character. And I think that we're in this really neat meme culture that we're in right now that
Hmm.
gives us an opportunity to literally create new cultures. Like, I'm looking at this freaking picture right now that Elon Musk tweeted a little bit ago with like an anime face on a monkey, and he's holding up a Doge, and he's standing on the edge of like the Lion King. He's got like almost five different characters here in one image. It's a simple but very profound image. And I think if a picture speaks a million words, what does a video do? And to be able to properly communicate your messaging and speak to the audience that, like, most people don't even know who their audience is, right? That's part of what I teach. My framework, I'll just give you a little alpha here, for branding is story, niche, and identity. And most people fail right at the story part. Like, they can't figure out how to go tell their story. And I think if people just get that part down, I call storytelling story selling, because if you do it right, people should be asking you questions, which are usually buying questions, that lead them, instead of pushing the rope, you're pulling the rope, that lead them back to wanting to work, collaborate, and follow or support your project, right? They got to get in line with the vision. And where a lot of people make the mistake is in the why. So we dive a little deeper there. I teach this thing in my program called the 5 levels of why, and really diving deep into that why. Like, why are you doing crypto? Well, I want financial freedom. Well, why do you want financial freedom? Well, because I come from a poor home and I was homeless in the streets as a kid, and I know the more money I have, the more I can give. And why it's better in my hands than in somebody else's hands that's going to use it to buy Lambos, get drunk, buy drugs, do stupid shit with it, waste money, buy mansions. Like, I'm gonna try to impact the world with what I'm doing. Well, why do you want to impact the world? Well, because I didn't have anybody looking out for me as a kid, and I want to create more mentors that I can go out. And so you start to dive deeper into those whys, and then it just becomes really, really powerful. And that's what a lot of these brands are missing in Web3. They're just relying on a simple meme, and it's like, that's only going to get you so far. So what he's doing, if he masters this, just the storytelling aspect. Let's not even talk about niche or identity with architects. If they're badass at storytelling, man, it's a game changer for these brands that they're working with. And I mean, their cover photo says a lot just in itself. So the Misfits, I used to have a brand called Misfit Graphics, so it's just pretty funny to see how you end up in places where you're supposed to be. I know I'm in the right spot, that's for sure.
Man, like honestly, unbelievable. I mean, you're speaking my language in terms of sales, like I did 10 plus years in high ticket sales, and absolutely persuasive conversation. Let the buyer speak and answer their questions with your solutions. Absolutely, no pressure, man. Like, yeah, I can tell from experience that you know exactly what you're talking about. Very, very excited to have you in here, man. Like the plot thickens. The network. Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead, man. Hands up, Penmob.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to like follow up. Yeah, that was amazing, man. That was he just went straight to it. It's like the same thing that I tell my creators whenever we're trying to create stuff, or also when we're like trying to work with projects. I mean, like I said, all of these people have amazing products. They have amazing communities, yes, but the sense of trying to drive that awareness between your audience or your community and the product, most of them don't know how to tell a proper story. It's one of the reasons why there's a project, I mean, even Unicorn that I'm saying, I mean, one of the most popular ones I enjoy is this one, I don't know, Punky or something like that. Yeah, now, that project with the animations and the way they tell your story, they made a movement that made every other project, like in the meme, for instance, want to copy that because they know how to drive like this awareness, this proper storytelling. They made like a kind of cult, if I could call it, and a lot of people started copying down to the art style and creativity and stuff like that. And it's just like he said, like you can have a product and you know how to tell a proper story. And if there's one thing I know that we are good at, is telling a proper story. I've always said this thing that there's almost nothing I can't tell in a very creative way. Almost nothing. I mean, we have crazy ass dope ass writers at Pema Creators. Besides our animators and stuff, we have crazy writers. Give anything and we can sell anything with like crazy ass content. Hell, the word what you're trying to sell is probably security. The way we would sell security would just be like, whoa, like why, how? But yeah, that's it. And I believe that proper stories keeps the community engaged. And in the grand scheme of it, besides building a proper community, it still brings the whole money, the whole culture into it. Because a lot of people feel this sense of drive. It's what we're currently doing with the other brand partner that's DYO, that's associated with Uni-Fy, and we're trying to build this whole lore for DYO. I mean, imagine this thing where your community or people holding their NFTs are seeing their NFTs become like characters for episodes of and it's not like we're even trying to be too deep into it. We're just bringing this stories to life in a creative way. Community members saying their NFTs or their profiles or whatever coming to life every week. It might be you, it might be the other guy, or you're just saying something being told in a crazy story and you're holding this NFT and then you're seeing like your NFT being associated with um an amazing animation, an amazing kind of content, and that's what we're about. That's just for NFTs now. Talk about what we could do for other projects. So it's exactly what they said. I love proper stories. We know how to tell a story. Hell, it's written in our bio. We are very good at telling stories. And yeah, that's the service. That's part of what we want to bring in for Unify. So
Yeah,
awesome,
man.
awesome stuff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. And it's like, again, I really like what you were saying, Mr. Boyce, about productization. Again, like I have an eye to see, where individuals, brands they have a product, but they don't see it. And I think it's like a common issue when you are the founder, you're the business owner, that you almost go blind. Like you're trying to write something, or you're trying to draw something, and then after a while, you get this blindness where you can't see the blaringly obvious mistake in front of you. And then you imagine that just perpetuates over time. You can lose sight of the monetization aspect or the productization aspect. And so I think then being able to um, look in from the outside and say, right, I can see here, you have this is a product, this is a service, this is something that you can break out and you can specialize in and you can monetize. And that leads nicely into, we actually haven't had this conversation with Manny yet, but I have sent him some ideas around it. And it's creating a product out of a product he already has, which is his studio. And so I should pin this up. When someone goes for a good old talk, I will try and get this tweet out and pin it up so you guys can see it. But if not, it will follow soon. But the point being is, um, I, over time, have seen products and services in Web3 that are used all the time, always under high demand, and add simple but great utility to PFP collections, for example. Right. I've tried to provide that service, but I am not an animator. So I've always looked at it from a drop servicing perspective where, I'm the middleman. I find a service provider, but they're unreliable. They were not on my platform. They were not in my network, whatever. And so now working with PenMob Studios, I've seen their work is consistent, it's high quality, and they're putting it out well. Now, one of the products I want them to make is it's a three-tier product, or yeah, I think two or three-tier product, and it's for PFP collections, right? So I was recently given a Vibe Tribe NFT from the Puffster Boys, Sin and Swiss, and I gave it to PenMob Studios and I said, "Can you animate this?" So they've gone and done an animation. If you've got it, bro, if you want to post it and ping it up, or if not, I'll do it later. But they've done an animation, and the animation is incredible. Like it is fucking awesome, right? It's even like way beyond the average animations you see on timelines, right? And so I've said this is a product. Right, so there needs to be one, two, or three tiers in this product. One is a basic animation, second is an extreme animation, and then third would be custom, right? So third would be, you essentially get a one of one animation on your PFP, even if it's not a one of one, right? And so now that product can go up on Uni-Fy obviously networks with all of these PFP products. Now we know, every single one of our brands pretty much has a PFP collection. So now they can instantly add, okay, look, because you're a Uni-Fy brand partner, you now get a discounted rate on these PFP animations. All right. And now PenMob Studios can offer bulk animations, right, to PFP collection. So they could even pre-sell, right? They could be like, right, a founder says I'm doing a 5K collection. I want to pre-sell like 1,000 animations that will link into the metadata, and then they'll come to you if they're a holder, and it's already done, right? And you've added that utility. And that's just one example of how, like, from my perspective, as brands come to me and I interview them and I see their services, how I'm able to then define these different verticals and products and ideal markets, because I'm the outside looking in. And I think, Mr. Boyce, so you've probably got a lot to say on that sort of similar narrative.
You got me jumping up and down right now. I'm so freaking excited. You're like talking dirt to me right now. You're speaking my native language, buddy.
Let's go.
This is a blast. I think this is the kind of conversations that I was hoping to have, especially on a day like today. What you're talking about helping him create is an offer, and it's a productized offer. And this is where so many people suck. With Russell Brunson, everybody knows who he is, and if you don't, you should look him up. With Russell Brunson, he created the irresistible offer along with the sales funnel and a bunch of different things like Alex Ramosi. And the offer, when he goes and consults with somebody and charges them $250,000 for one consultation, he's only looking at three particular things: the hook, the story, and the offer. And the offer is where so many brands and so many businesses fail. And what you're talking about there is I've taken offers in my framework and I've categorized them into three buckets. The first bucket is the intro offer. How are you going to get somebody like a creator like yourself? It's Uni-Fy, you have this amazing platform, and give them a taste of what you have. But then when you solve that problem, it creates a new problem. And what is that problem? You want more. You see the reach, you see the impact, you see the growth that happens from that quality creative work, and you're like, hey, I need this. To the point where you're willing to go and edify somebody else. Not only is that a great way to back up his product and to help grow your brand, but it's also a really great way to tell stories. The reason why my PFP is a giraffe right now is because of Gary, who was just, oh, he's back. It's because of Gary, who's in here. I would my story that I've been telling in the Web3 space is I didn't actually mean to launch my own coin. I was playing around on Pump Fun after talking to Gary about it, who's this freaking Web3 pioneer. And next thing you know, I have a skill stacker token. It was either run and tuck my tail and be like, oh shit, it was an accident, sorry guys, or double down like I always do and see it through and not walk away and run towards the storm versus run away from the storm. And so if it hadn't have been for Gary, I wouldn't be in this space even talking and having this conversation right now. I'd have a project and I'd be invisible. But this man has edified so many people and has empowered so many creatives. So that's the key piece that I'm seeing that you're doing for him is that you're creating these offers that he can now go out and saturate the Web3 market even better. And he's hearing directly from somebody in the space. You know what I mean? So he's getting really valuable data. But 10 other people in here that can provide market data, and I just don't think a lot of people are asking people what they want, right? The best salespeople are the best listeners. And so I think that that's a really key piece to what they got to do is they just got to continue to do this, hop into rooms, listen to what people want, because I'm a creative myself. I don't have time. I don't have the time to sit there and spend 3, 4, 5 hours in Adobe Character. I can do it. I've done animations, but my time is worth over $1,000 an hour as a consultant. And in the Web3 space, pretty soon it'll be worth a lot more than $1,000 an hour. So why would I spend my time when I can go hire these freaking badasses to do this shit for me?
Yeah, man, nailed it. And oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted there. No, you nailed it, man. And I think you're right. Thank you for correcting, my terminology. It's the offer. And then I want to go back around and really touch on something you mentioned early on, because it's very something I hold very close to my heart, and it's something I learned in it was in an incubator, like a oh, what's the word, like a short incubation sort of founders intensive, get ready for VC rounds. And we had the pleasure of meeting with one of the, if not the best brand narrative guy from Hollywood, who somehow ended up in Web3. And guys, sorry, before I continue, I'm about to go off on a nice little tangent there. Welcome, lots of new faces in the space, so many giraffes. Definitely need to get me one of those. Mad respect for all of you guys being here and choosing to spend the only currency we don't know the balance of, and that's time, with us. So mad respect for that. We'd appreciate a retweet of the room. We'd appreciate you engaging with the brand pages and checking out the live stream. Get yourselves registered on Uni-Fy. But absolute pleasure to have you. We do this every Wednesday, 5:30 EST. We bring up a brand partner. We explore new brand partners. The mic will be open later. Feel free to come up and ask questions, give feedback, positive or negative. This is an open space where we try to keep things high level and really push each other's brands and give great feedback and network. So far, absolutely loving this week's episode. Really, really enjoying it. And so, what I wanted to move on to, and what I mentioned, was the brand narrative. And so, prior to that, bearing in mind I'd probably been building for 2 years, Uni-Fy, this is V3, that's live now. So it's not been like a quick overnight thing. We've tested, we've pivoted, we've updated, and we've adjusted. And I got into this incubation thing, maybe what, 3 months ago. So all that time I've been building, and I had this 2 hour it was a 2 hour consultation, like group consultation with this brand narrative expert. And man, it just clicked. Everything clicked, because I realized when I was pitching Uni-Fy prior to that point, no one really had any idea what we did. No one really, like, they got it, but they didn't get it. Or someone would say, like, 20 minutes in, oh, now I get it. And it was that power of the story and your brand narrative and how you present that to your audience or audiences, and the different onboarding verticals of that. And you can see I wish I could do a side by side. I mean, if you go through our YouTube, you can see all of our old branding is obviously still there on the old videos. But now we've really tried to hit with exactly what we do with the connect, streamline, and grow. Like that instantly for me captivates what this brand does. We connect with a global audience, we streamline your lead generation, and then we supercharge your growth. Um, and so the simple tagline, and this was actually from a call with another friend who I networked and met in Web3, who's very well versed in VCs, a VC himself, or an angel, I should say, himself. And he read this like further down in a different part of the website that I'd put it, and he was like, well, hold on, like now, like reading that, I want to stay in your brand. Like I want to know more. Like these are all problems that I face, you know. And you might not, as a brand, as a business, as a Web3 project, you might not have something that you solve, but you certainly have an essence. You know, you have something that makes you unique. And that will resonate with people. Yeah, Mr. Boy, I see you unmute there. If you do want to chip in, man, please do.
I just give you a little. I just want to add something because I think that you have a really big opportunity here. I think that connect and the grow piece are big, but if you can make somebody feel that you have an understanding of their pain and their struggle and their challenge, and you already know and have that solution better than they do, that's the message that most people are missing. That's the story that they're lacking in, that they fail to tell. Just like Gary, right? Stop trading time for money. That right there is very clear about what the pain point it solves, and that's why you're seeing the huge run and the huge growth you have in Gary Giraffes and in the Gary Coin and the Giraffe Tower. Like that's because he understands that pain better than anybody. He knows exactly what a creator wants. A creator wants to stop trading time for money so you can just do whatever you want to do, and that's to create. That's all I want to do all day. I want to make YouTube videos and make podcasts and jump on spaces and read books and draw with my daughter. Like that's when you start telling me that story, I'm all in. And so you've done a really good job of that, but I think that there's an opportunity for you to even lean in more into what is that pain, what is that solution that people like me in the Web3 space that are newbies, that are freaking 60 days in, that don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. I'm trying to figure out how to not be invisible in the Web3 space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, totally, man. I really like that. And, this is why I think, I was really happy to sort of have you up here and getting your feedback on that because, yeah, like we do solve those problems and we do it in a deeper way. I mean, the last sort of two major brands that we onboarded both have existing Shopify shops, right? Shopify stores, right? When they went through the process of building a brand page listing their first products and services, um, and obviously, when I shared the news of the Web 2 facing payment solutions, they were like, well, this means that I can cancel my Shopify. Um, and for me, that's where the story is, is like if someone is saying they'll cancel a tried and tested um, um, subscription, right, based on the technology that we've built. And this is in its most primitive form. It's like AI. This is the stupidest you'll ever see it, right? Like this is if you were to take what Uni-Fy is, what you see right now is a piece of snow on the top of the iceberg. You don't even know how big the iceberg is, let alone what's under the water. Um, and so I totally agree, and I'd love to, do a run through with you in more detail on how we can pull that out. Um,
Oh, I'm happy to do that.
yeah,
Anytime.
yeah, really appreciate it, man. And but again, it's then making this a journey. Initially, because it's a difficult positioning for us. Like we're B2B, but we're B2B to C. And
B
so
to B to C to Web three. It's you're the micro niche of the micro niche of the micro niche, and so you have to really come with a really unique angle to capture the attentions and the hearts of people in this space because these people that are here are unlike anything else I've ever been
mm,
around or ever experienced. They're the early adopters. They're the do-it-yourselfers. They're the I'm going to figure it out on my own. They're probably avid YouTube watchers as well. Aside from this platform, they're watching and learning a lot of content, consuming a lot of content, and so you got to be front and center. There's the only honest form of marketing that really exists, and this is going to carry over hopefully huge in the Web3 space. If I have anything to do with it, is education. Education-based marketing is the only thing, and so I think I took your bio there and your profile. Connect with the global audience, streamline lead generation, and supercharge your growth with, and does it say Uni-Fy there? It's cut off. So that's another thing is that we want to get that down so that it doesn't get cut off, but supercharge your growth Um, Let me see. I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna see what this gives me because I custom programmed this GPT to see
Let's go.
exactly what it'll do and see what it gives me. So there's a methodology that I learned really early on in my career from a mentor who had 36 years of this time. This is like 15 years ago. He had 36 years of marketing experience. He had his PhD, his Juris Doctorate, and he taught me. I brought him a brochure that really was beautifully designed, but the messaging just sucked because I didn't understand the science of marketing. And so he said, Adrian, what's the objective? What's the point that you're trying to get across here? And I was like, well, I'm trying to sell mattresses. He's like, where does it say in here to buy a mattress? And that's when I was like, oh my God, he's right. Where we had those aha moments. So I sat with him for 2.5 years and just picked his brain and asked him a million questions, annoyingly, like I do. And after all those questions, there was three big things that I took away from the conversation. One of them was supply and demand. Most people aren't following the demand. They're trying to create it. And that's really expensive. And unless you're freaking Warren Buffett or Elon Musk, like, good luck. Like, you're going to spend the next 30 years of your life, and the bet is just so far against you because you're competing against people who have such an ungodly amount of money. So just follow the demand. Find something that's viral, that's trending, that's in the moment that you can catch that wave and help yourself get some momentum. The second thing that he taught me was a methodology that was developed by Aristotle called logos, pathos, and ethos. Have you heard of that before?
I haven't. Please dive in.
Have you heard of logos, pathos, ethos?
Sorry, I thought I was
Well,
unmuted.
yeah,
No, I
it's okay.
haven't. Go ahead.
So ethos, pathos, logos, or logos, pathos, ethos, however you want to say it, is logical, ethical, and emotional. This is what drives human behavior and what gets people to buy in. And for somebody like me, if you're trying to sell or build a relationship with somebody like me, I'm all emotional. Like, that's just how I am. I'm super enthusiastic. I'm excited. I'm motivated. I'm positive. I'm upbeat. And all you got to do is freaking show up with a little energy, and I'm riding the wave with you, bro. Like, I'm all here. But there's other people, like my friend Eric, who's sitting on this call, if he was actually here, and he'd just be sitting there with a straight face, no expression, and look like he was dead unless you were to, like, shake him. I mean, the guy is just, like, emotionless. And so you have to hit him with the logic. The only thing he wants to hear is how many people are on your network, how many people have you impacted, what's the case studies, where are the details, show me the facts, how can you back up all the things that you're saying that Uni-Fy does. Right? So if you can create a statement that does all three of those, like, so here's an example of an ethos statement. Join a unified platform, trusted and scale with clarity and control. So that's the ethos, the
Bro,
credibility and trust.
you literally rugged for me like at the second word and
Oh
just
no,
came in
let
at
me
the
read it
end.
again.
Yeah, yeah, please.
So this is the ethos, credibility. Join a unified platform trusted by marketers to connect with a global audience, streamline lead generation, and scale with clarity and control. That's credibility and trust. Then you got pathos, which is emotion and vision. Imagine reaching across the world, building real connections effortlessly, and watching your growth take off. Uni-Fy gives you the power to expand your impact with confidence. And then here's the logos. Here's the logic. With Uni-Fy, you eliminate fragmented systems by centralizing audience management, automating lead generation, and accelerating your business growth, all in one intelligent platform.
Oh man, the last one nails it. Love it. Send me those.
Logic.
Send me those
Yep.
and give me access
I'll
to
send
your
it to you right now.
agents.
You got it.
Yeah, I love that, man. Yeah, so I've got a couple of agents I've programmed for Uni-Fy, but yeah, not I haven't gone deep enough, I don't think, down one channel. But man, that was an awesome output, bro. Really, really like that.
You got time for me to share the last one?
Yeah.
So the last one, and this is where I really went wrong in my business. And once I started doing this, not only did I start to earn a lot more trust and credibility in the space, but when I'm able to deliver exactly what I say I'm going to deliver to my clients, and usually the same amount of time that I said or faster, that builds instant credibility and trust, and they'll continue to buy from me. Especially after I have that first sale, most people struggle to just get the first sale, so they'll continue to buy. But one of the things that most people are missing in that is in building that credibility and trust is the oh my gosh, and I just lost my train of thought here as I went off on a tangent in my own brain. The third piece to this is the supply and demand, the logos, pathos, ethos, and oh my gosh,
That's all good.
now I'm drawing a blank.
No,
The third one was a big one too. I lost it mid sentence. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, no, all good, man. When you're firing on all cylinders like that, yeah, I'd often distract myself by just going off on a tangent, and it's like, hold on, where did this
Yeah,
come from?
yeah,
I'm down the
for sure.
cul-de-sac. Yeah, yeah. But no, man, like I can tell already that you're going to be an asset, and I think a massive part of this, like you say, is education. I think you'll see. Where are we? Like third pinned tweet. We've launched our courses there because again, I'm a big believer in if you think about what was your onboarding into any situation in life is always education, right? Like it
That's right.
could have been the guy who taught you to change a tire and exactly how to change a tire, or how your parents or your carers taught you how to tie your shoelace. You tie your shoelace like that. And so look at that as education. And if you look at that as part of the onboarding protocol, then you're now building that long lasting trust to, in my mind, when you educate someone into their first entry into a platform or any ecosystem or what have you, you are then the source of trusted knowledge. And so
That's
anything
right.
that you continue to bring out and develop, and as long as you stay true to that initial ethos, I think you really build loyal
There it is.
members.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. It's in the plan. That's the third piece is most people don't have a plan. And when I started creating a marketing plan, most people don't have a marketing plan for their business. They're just winging it. Right? There are people I know a lot of people in my life, including myself at one time, that was just winging it. And when I added that element into it, not only did I explain what was going to happen and I was able to meet that deliverable, but then it was in writing on top of that, and they had something visual, and I put it in writing. That just builds all the extra credibility you need, and it gives you a roadmap to actually follow. So I'm a huge guy for planning, brand strategy plans, marketing plans, sales plans, business plans. Like you should have a plan for your crypto holdings. If you're trading meme coins or flipping NFTs or doing like, there should be a written plan, not just winging it in your head. That's the way that you're going to eliminate that risk and give yourself such a higher chance of success.
100%, man. Pen mod, but I hope you're taking notes, man. This is a valuable session, man.
Absolutely. Thomas, you know me, even when we're on calls, I'm always with my notebook and pen. I'm always writing and man's dropping serious albums for real.
You know
Dude,
it.
look at the support of the giraffes in here though. Let's take a second. We got Dunk, Manny, Adam, Osama, Big Boy, Eddie, Gary. That's what I'm talking about, the power of what Gary's built here, dude. Like everywhere I show up, they show up. And every time I need help, Gary's sending me, like, I got a message from Gary earlier today. This was wild. And he sent me an article of an opportunity for me. Like he's a creator trying to build his own coin, but he's all over here all the time trying to support me, lift me up, encourage me, edify me, bring me into rooms, give me opportunities to speak. Like, man, like if you ain't got a draft as a PFP right now, like what are you doing with your life, bro? Like it's just wild to see all this love and support, man, and I'm just feeling beyond humbled.
Absolutely, man. I mean, guys, you can check out the room. Oh no, you can't because I've got the thing on. But yeah, I was just showing the screen up to the live stream. But in all honestly, it just blanks it out because I've got the transparent screen on the background. But it's testament to building, I think, with um transparency, consistency, and staying true to your vision. And really, like a big thing again with Unify is there was this very much a tribalization early on in Web3. Oh, I'm ETH, I'm Solana, I'm this, I'm that. This is my project. That's not, whatever. And in reality, it's like it was such a minority of people. We still are such a minority of people. Why the fuck are we battling each other? Why are we allowing our egos to prevent progress, and not book that call or not go and check someone else's project out when actually what I've really loved that I've seen in the last sort of 6 months, the narrative is switching to that community led growth, that community led mentality where it doesn't matter who's doing what and where. Like someone will be like, oh, I know someone, like I'm in another project, you guys will complement each other, and I feel like that if we can continue down that line, I think we become unstoppable. Like we are all the experts of the impending mass onboarding of the remaining like 98.34% or whatever. We have a small minority. We are already in the trenches here, so we're the experts. We're the guys who are going to be on the table as the Web3 expert consultants. So all of these spaces, all of this knowledge, just suck it up, take on board as much as you can, network. Gary, if you want to come up, man, you are more than welcome. And if anyone has any questions, they want to chill, or just generally tell us how their day's going, you're more than welcome to come up. We got Pato Wiz, Procan, Chief Bell, some of our top affiliates in our platform, and so or just head over to the dashboard. So what we've got and what we're about to expand on, I'm going to just take a dive into Uni-Fy and go through the ways that you can earn and kind of what we're doing. So the brand dashboard gives you real-time feedback on your brand page, what clicks you're getting, your top performing products. But what we're really excited about is the top affiliates. So the affiliate leaderboard right now is localized. So each brand can see their affiliate dashboard. But what this gives you is direct contact with the believers in or out of your community, and to see and track their performance in how much traffic and sales that they are responsible for. And this builds a real strong symbiotic relationship because for me, one of the big issues in Web3, as someone who came just through as a DGen who saw a big bag of Solana just suddenly pump and for no idea why ended up in the trenches of Web3. So I have been a community member. I've been the one making content, writing threads, trying to get seen, trying to score that fucking 200x whitelist, and it paid off, right? Like I flipped some of the biggest whitelists, and it was amazing. And it was through, creating unique content. It was always and getting having the balls to go up on stage early on. But my point is I know for a fact that a lot of the founders in the as I moved up the ranks from being a community member to them being more of a mod, and then like a raid guy, and then a networking guy, and then alongside that developing Uni-Fy, is I saw that every founder, they want to know who's in their community actually making an effort. Because the amount of messages founders get, oh, I'll be your community manager, I'll do collab manager, I'll do this, I'll do that. I do not hire anyone from outside of the Uni-Fy ecosystem. Like I will not even give you time of day. If, however, you open with give me a job, and then I say, well, you need to be in here, you need to prove that you actually care, because I'm not paying anyone in Web3 who doesn't already care. And bearing in mind, we have no NFT collection, we have no token, we haven't taken a penny out of the ecosystem. So any money we have paid is out of my wages and my the flips and everything. So my point being here is the most valuable people in any founders community are the ones actively taking action, regardless of what that founder is doing at any given time. And this leaderboard does exactly that. It gives you direct overview of exactly the people who have gone out of their way to create content, include their affiliate links, and drive traffic to your brand. Um, and so for me, for instance, the DYO, you'll see one of the pinned tweets with DYO. We ran using this analytic structure. It's the first pinned tweet. We then ran a top affiliate competition. So they put a prize up of 1 million of their DYO token and 16 booster packs with NFTs in it. And so everyone will get a certain amount of DYO token and an NFT. And in order to take part, they had to be on this leaderboard. And so in doing that, he managed to engage. I think there were 5 people that came on board and started promoting for it. And this today, they all won that token and that NFT. And right now it's like a slightly manual process, but you can see as we progress, this is going to develop into automations. This is going to be something you can set and forget. Um, but importantly, this is going global. So these leaderboards we're about to make globally available to both the affiliates. So the affiliates also have a dashboard, but they don't have the leaderboard in it. They have their sort of top brands and top clicks. But the affiliates will be able to see their position in their profile on the global leaderboard, as well as the brand seeing them independently to the brands that they're promoting. Right. So now there's this gamification, this competitive aspect to the leaderboards where it's like, I'm not just going to be a top affiliate within this one brand. I want to be the top affiliate overall. right? I want to be in the top five of, all 10,000 registered affiliates, right? And so this leads into with the profile, we're creating both a back section but a front facing section. So now you imagine if you're like, top affiliate, 3 weeks running, that's going to appear on your profile. All of your qualifications will appear, the amount of commission you've made, the brands you represent, and now founders will be able to search through the affiliate profiles and then align themselves with active affiliates. Bear in mind, not influencers, right? Because I just feel there's a significant difference in terms of, the work they're willing to do and put out and the quality of that, and the dedication to each brand. But then they're able to then search and find those affiliates that best align with the best audience, whatever it may be. So just really excited about the sort of gamification of that. Our token links into all of this as well. So affiliates will be rewarded for engagement. You'll be incentivized to get out and share your links. And yeah, so I'd love to get your feedback on that. Both PenMob and Mr. Boycell before I move on to some other alpha this evening, guys.
Yeah, I've been looking at your site here for the last few minutes and just diving deeper. I'm at the stage where you connect your wallet, and so I'm curious if there was a video here in this stage when you go to connect your, just like select wallet devnet. I bet you'd have a lot less friction and resistance.
Hmm.
Where there was you and taking a recording from one of your spaces or your streams that you've done and just sticking it in here so that I understand what's happening in this place, because especially with your voice, you have a powerful and commanding voice. If you were like, congratulations, you made it to the first step, you're going to connect your wallet to do X, Y, and Z, I think that would give you a really big advantage. And you could have, you could have your boy PenMob over here create that video and do an animated version, and just have your voiceover and be faceless, So I think
Yeah.
that would be really neat. So as I'm just continuing to explore, this is just some of the stuff I'm seeing, but I like all the other brands that you guys have in here. You have products page and you have the services page. I think that's really cool. There's the animated sweatshirt that's moving and the animated T-shirt. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to see that on it. Like, that's got to be a requirement. Like, if you're going to put your products on this site, you got to show up like that. And that's how you're going to continue to establish that authority and that premium positioning. Everybody wants to be a visible brand, but the ones that outlast everybody, especially the ones that are going to be in this space, are going to be the premium brands, the ones that got the money to be able to afford it. And I think that what you're doing here, I mean, I don't know what your fees look like for these products and for these services, but like you got the PenMob creative sound design, scripting, things like that. 3Soul, like I know that could change, and so I'm curious, just from your perspective, like I have a website where we've basically come up with a token system on Brand Butler, and so we're charging based off of tokens, where it's like you pay a subscription and then you get a certain amount of tokens for that subscription every month. Eventually, that's going to roll into a coin when we have a massive community. But how do you judge this price right here of 3Soul based on if the price of Soul is $25 versus $260? Like, how does that fluctuate?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. And so because we are in DevNet, um, originally we built this, with just Solana in mind. Now, in hindsight, we should have coded USDC. But because we're in DevNet, it's undeployed. We're able to edit it. So it will be USDC. But as I said, like we've now got this, the partnership with the payment solution provider. So essentially, you'll see this in dollars, and you'll be able to choose how you pay, whether it's crypto, whether it's Bitcoin or Visa, or a combination of them. You can also swap it all. You don't need to change chains to check out. And then importantly, again on the front end, I 100% agree on the video. I have got a how-to video on our YouTube channel, but I should definitely add that to the page. In my mind, there's kind of like a simulation that would happen, um, where like each stage the kind of mouse would move and you'd get the thought bubble that would come up and tell you literally what you're doing in that first instance, and then you could choose to skip the instructional video if you wanted to. um
That's exactly what I have. Yeah, I have the same thing. You can turn the audio off on the video if you want, or you can turn it back on, and he guides you throughout the whole process. One of my
nice.
inspirations was back in the day. You remember Clippy, the little paper clip with the note,
Yeah.
with the little post-it note behind that.
Fuck yeah.
Like we gotta bring that culture, those origins into stuff like this and make it fun rather than because you got a lot of real estate here. This is a whole lot of white space that you got. It just says it's all text and buttons. You know, there's not a single design element. And over on the products page, you have these beautifully designed products, especially with that animated image. And you have this resource of PenMob. Like, man, lean into that, dude. Like, the more you lean into that, because the brand logo itself is authoritative, and you have some good graphics like here, the graphic you have on the side next to discover our brand partner services, like that graphic with the spotlights on it, like that's brilliant. I would lean into that and maybe take some of those and have PenMob animate those,
Yeah, so
and take that to the next level.
100%, man. Yeah, so they did our one icon. It's pinned up the top. Our hero icon from the homepage. Is pinned up the top. That is yeah. So this has been animated. This first one, if you're watching the live stream, that is what you will see on this tweet. Let me just pull it up on the live stream. But yeah, it's pinned up top, like you can see before and after. Yeah, go on, Penmo.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that now. I can see it on your stream. I went over to the page again. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. So we're going to bring that throughout. And yeah, with regard to like the animated t-shirts and that, like I actually do those myself in Blender. So yeah, 100%. Like these are all upsells again. Like right now, what you see is the DevNet version. Once we go to mainnet, all you brand partners, and this will bring me on to the next bit of alpha, but all of the brand partners will be getting the premium access, for believing in us early. You'll all get the premium access, unlimited products, print on demand, connection to Printify, and these 3D mock-ups. But then beyond that, these will be additions, right? Like if you want to unlock the 3D animation for your mock-ups, then that would be an upsell, and if you want to have print on demand, like you can see on the brand page, we've actually got we put an announcement out on the Uni-Fy brand page, where we are connecting with Printify, and that's potentially actually going to become a Web3 partner. I can't spill too much on that yet, but Printify may be actually replaced by a Web3 fulfillment solution, which is pretty exciting. Um, but yeah, I mean, anyone, bearing in mind, guys, like if you want to utilize the Uni-Fy platform, you can go and register now. It's totally free. If you want to build a brand page, we do done for you ones, which we charge for, but you can do it for free if you do it yourself. You just need to register and fill out the application and then book a call with me. And that's how we kind of gate it at the moment. So definitely, but I need to wind it up. I actually have a call at midnight with another potential client who's in somewhere where it's sensible time for
Get
them.
after it.
Get after it. Exactly, you know it, man. But what I wanted to just do is drop some alpha to you legends, that have been here from the get-go. And as part of our next phase, we are going to drop a low supply NFT collection. That collection is going to have significant perks linked in and woven in to the Uni-Fy ecosystem. Brand partners will be able to have custom one of ones that they can customize based around our um, our collection style, which I've seen the mock-ups for today, two variations, extremely exciting. This collection is going to be the only collection that is going to get rev share. There's going to be three rarities. All those rarities will get rev share, but it will be different dependent on rarity. All the collection will get airdrop allocation of the token, but it will vary on rarity. There are many, many more perks. I haven't put anything out there in writing. This is pure alpha because you guys are here. But it's a precursor to our TGE, and really designed to give like the people who believed in us from the get-go the share they deserve. We've ran many, many models. We have a full financial model that we've put out, that we've put together with our CFO. We have a fractional CFO. It puts us at 29 million a year in the next 6 years. Obviously, that all dependent on many variables. But that's the vision we have for Unify, is really to be the Amazon, to be the Shopify of Web3, and hopefully eat their market share so they don't even get to come in. And then on top of that, give some of that back to you guys. So lots more information on that coming. Um, Brand partners obviously will all get first dibs, as well as OG affiliates and everything else. But I wanted to put that out there. I'm a big believer of, thoughts become things. And once you start verbalizing and spreading the word, that snowball will continue to grow. So that is some massive alpha for you guys. I can't wait to show you what I've been designing. It's super cool, super unique, and these are just the beginning. Mr. Boysill, what we discussed early on, we will talk about in the back end, because there's some evolutionary and DNA based aspects that we need to dive into. But as you guys should know by now, those of you that know me, like, I've been here building, and the only thing preventing Unify from becoming the household name that it needs to be is essentially me, and being consistent. And I've stayed consistent this long. I've pretty much put both my kidneys into Unify already. So I'm I'm bullish on me, and I'll always bet on me. It's the best investment. And so I promise you guys, I will take this as far as it can possibly go. We have so many incredible connections kind of waiting for us to have that token as well, in terms of liquidity events. So just super excited. I am absolutely ecstatic to have met Mr. Boycell tonight and the Giraffe crew. Gary, I hope to hear from you in the future. We'd love to have you all in the Discord. Please send me links to your tokens and everything else. I will certainly buy a bag, and support you guys as well. But what I do at the end of these spaces, kind of do like a last and finals, and just sort of whip round the room. And if any of you do have questions, or want to make any comments or anything, now's the time. But Pen Mob Studios, man, I give you the mic. Yeah, just last and final comments of the evening, man.
Yo, thank you, Thomas. Yeah, I'm really bullish on the alpha you dropped, and yeah, the alphas that Boy Cell has been dropping. Awesome stuff, awesome space. Really enjoyed this one, and I look forward to next week. So yeah, I'm really rooting for Unify, and yeah, the vision that you want to make a reality. I already sense it's going to be a reality. It's just as long as there's passion. Something I always say: if you have passion for what you're doing, and I can sense that passion in the way you speak, it will become a reality. What you have to do is keep showing up, and that's what you've been doing, Thomas. So amazing stuff.
Mad respect, brother. Really appreciate the feedback. It's a pleasure to have you on board, man. And I think you see what's coming your way in terms of mass lead generation for you. So super excited, man. We'll talk very soon in the back end. But yeah, Mr. Boyfield, man, the mic is yours. Lost and finals.
Man, what a blessing to be able to share with you guys and collaborate. And I'm looking for the opportunity to chat with you. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I like what you're doing. You're building something real, and these are the spaces that we need, where people are real builders, real creators, are building something real for the world, not just trying to entertain. I think there's a value in entertainment with the memes, but the people that are creating utilities behind their coins and are actually trying to solve real world problems and complex problems, like trading time for money and helping people stack skills so they don't ever have to work ever again. And, like they can make enough money where money is, that was the other thing that Dighton told me. He was like, listen, dude, he's like, I don't need your money, but I want your money. And to be able to stand from that place as a business and as a brand and as a creator, where you don't need to worry about making money, money's already coming in. That's the attention era and the economy that we're living in right now. There's a whole new economy emerging with Web3, between meme trading and these AI agents and bots and all the things that we're about to see. I mean, we're just going to be in such a different world in 5-10 years from now. And you said it yourself, and I couldn't say it any better. Just keep showing up. Just keep being consistent. And, they say best known beats best. if you just keep going out there and building relationships and networking with the right people and keeping your circle small. I think it's easy to get caught up in wanting to connect with a lot of people, but it's going to be about connecting with the right people. That's the thing that I'm following. If there's anything that Gary's taught me that's the most valuable thing I've heard from him, that I've watched him do all the way back in the Clubhouse days, just to kind of date us there. When I listened to him in Clubhouse, it was about the right connections. It's not how many connections and getting a ton of connections and 5,000 followers and 20,000. Like, all that stuff's vanity metrics. That ain't mean shit. I know people who have 100 followers but make 7 and 8 figures. So it's not about the following and the vanity metrics. It's about actually building those really key position relationships. And sometimes you have to pay to get into proximity, whether you got to buy a giraffe or buy a bag of stacker or whatever that is. Like, I've done that countless times. I have 6 giraffe. Like, I only need one, but I got 6 of them. It's not just because I believe in Gary. It's because I know it's an investment in my future. And as these guys going to continue to go, I know these giraffes are going to be worth a lot. And I'm paying to be in proximity with giraffe. And they know that, and they're themselves doing that. So it's just the way that this system is working, and I'm just continuing to try to add value in every place that I go into, every room that I go into, and that's what we have to keep doing a better job of, is just helping people understand the value of what we bring. And if we can do that with a story, we're so much better off.
Nailed it, man. Well said. Outstanding spaces. I'm going to throw out there MCPs. Does that mean anything to you, Mr. Boysel?
MCP?
MCP.
Uh-uh.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
You're gonna
I can
enjoy
come
that
up with some
rabbit.
ideas.
You're gonna enjoy that rabbit hole. MCP protocol is that is fucking alpha on AI agents. That is the evolution of AI agents. No longer build the automations; they build them themselves. Um, but that's knowledge and a deep dive for another day. And I know you're going to enjoy that rabbit hole as much as I have. And to the giraffes and to Gary, you sound like a true inspiration, man. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you in and around the Uni-Fy ecosystem. I am absolutely offering you all brand pages. So if you do want to take up a brand page, then please just hit me up in the DMs. Obviously, Gary, Mr. Boyce, no doubt we're going to do that anyway. But also, if you're a community manager, if you're a brand designer, if you're skilled in some form or another, this is how you can begin to monetize and really diversify your revenue and substantiate your place in the Web3 ecosystem as a house name. So love to help you do that. And of course, if you don't want to do any of that, but you are a community member and you do make the occasional tweet, you, my friend, are an affiliate marketer. And therefore, why not use an affiliate link where you can potentially earn a commission, meaning you would get paid without investing anything but your time in Web3, which is really what we're trying to do out here. So with that said, you've been you, I've been me, and Web3 is always Web3. I'll see you next week on episode 22. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Take it easy. Oh, I'm still live over here. I fully forgot. Yeah, so, and I forgot when I was giving out the alpha that you were all watching as well. So you got that alpha. Do with that what you will. Join the Discord, join the Telegram, and head over to Uni-Fy US. Go here and register. Why wouldn't you register? Let's take the market and decentralize it. Let's add utility to mom and pop stores. Let's build Starbucks style loyalty programs with no code, low code solutions provided by Uni-Fy. So definitely head over to uni-fi.us and register, get started. If you're a brand, apply. If you want to do the quest, do the quest. Join our Discord. We'd love to have you. We provide resources. We have our courses live. if you're a brand, we're going to activate our affiliates and launch your brand as well. Your brand page gets featured on our Twitter space. It gets raids from our community. We activate our affiliates to start promoting it. So it's this whole ensemble of marketing efforts and diversification for any brand that joins us. So we would be more than happy to have you. I hope to see a lot of you registered on the platform. And on the next leaderboard challenge, DYO is still running their challenge. So obviously not everything went out today because they had 5 winners. They had 16 prizes. So those 16 prizes 11 more prizes will roll over. So there's 11 more spaces on that leaderboard for you all to win your first items just from investing time on Uni-Fy. But yeah, been a pleasure, guys. I will see you on the next live stream. And yeah, stay safe, support the builders, follow, and generally be good.